News, if you're an Xbox fan, I have to admit that it is kind of a bummer because, I was looking forward to seeing what Microsoft could do and what these teams could do. And now we got a pretty clear picture of an idea of what was coming. And, to say the least, it's not something that is... that I would look at and go, okay, well, that's a good thing they stopped that or nipped that in the bud. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to want to see this video. Appreciate you guys checking it out. As always, please leave a like and possibly even subscribe if you haven't already done so. Would definitely mean a lot to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So trying to do some cool stuff on the channel. Maybe you guys will get into it, maybe not, I don't know, I hope so anyway. But let's go ahead and get started. So as we know, it was highly divisive what Microsoft did recently with Tango Gameworks, and people were just like, oh, well, they didn't have anything going. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's kind of a lie, because they went on a hiring spree last year, and there was also a lot of rumors and things saying that they were actually working on other stuff, because the Hi-Fi Rush team was a different team than was working on stuff like Ghostwire Tokyo, which Ghostwire Tokyo launched in 2022 on PlayStation. And then, obviously it's not going to take a whole team to port that to Xbox, which came out last year, and then Hi-Fi Rush, of course, was in development for a while, but by very few people. But now we have some kind of confirmation that Tango Gameworks was developing 2 unannounced games before its closure. The developer at Tango Gameworks has revealed that the studio was working on at least 2 unannounced titles before the studio's closure. This information comes courtesy of a LinkedIn page, which was first spotted on Twitter. According to the page, it was working on 2 unannounced titles. Unannounced titles, Graphics Programmer 2024, and Unannounced Title Lead Programmer 2324, according to the profile. Now, one of these titles is almost certainly the Ghostwire Tokyo sequel that was leaked during the Microsoft Activision FTC hearing, which leaked that the game would be released during fiscal year 24. As for the second game, it's highly speculated that it would have been the sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. Unfortunately, Microsoft announced Tango Gameworks would be closing as part of a restructuring that would see 4 studios close. The other 3 studios were Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Studios, and Roundhouse Games. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skill of the talented individuals themselves at these teams, or the risks that they took in trying new things, according to Matt Dumbass Booty. I acknowledge these things are also disruptive to the various supportive teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. Again, now, the reason why this is extra shitty is because I really enjoyed Ghostwire Tokyo, to me, it made a lot of sense for them to kind of come out with a sequel. Like, this game was a very understated game. I thought they did a fantastic freaking job with it. And, again, I hate the fact that we're not going to get a sequel to this. Like, I mean, doesn't that annoy you guys? Like, we get very, very kind of cut-of-the-mill, run-of-the-mill games, right? Like, this generation might be the worst in terms of, what we've been getting and things like that. And now it's like, more cookie-cutter stuff, Ghostwire Tokyo, to me, was something different, something fresh. And, I think, like, the people that I've suggested it to have all come back and were like, yeah, man, thanks for suggesting that game. It was, awesome or whatever. And, that is nice to hear, because it is such a fresh, interesting game. And, it's something that we don't get all the time. And to cut that out to do what? To get more people to work on the next Fallout? Another Fallout game, or, another Elder Scrolls game, right? I'm not saying that those games are necessarily bad, but it's like, the amount of resources put into these games, when you had something fresh and it could, that was actually new, I just think that was, kind of silly to kind of not capitalize on that, man. I would have much rather had, Ghostwire Tokyo 2 or, Hi-Fi Rush 2. I would have much rather had those things than have a Fallout, 5 years from now or whatever the case may be. I just feel like whatever Microsoft is doing is very reminiscent of stuff that they've done in the past. It just doesn't really make much sense, and I wish that it would, because it seems like anytime they have a chance to do something that changes the game or whatever, that they don't. They really could do it. They really could go out there and blow people away and like, hey, we got these great exclusives. We got this, we got that. But then they don't do it. And that's like the most like shoot themselves in the foot thing I've ever seen in my life. And I wish that they would like just stop it for a change, like, come on, Microsoft, get your act together, and the thing is I don't even know that they could ever come back from something like this. That's the main problem, right? Like, can you ever come back from having all your exclusives on your competing console? Like I'm not sure that you could do that, right? I'm not sure that there's anything that they could do. They could go, okay, well, we can come back from this. Like, I feel like they've messed up too much. They panicked too much, and that's just really, really unfortunate, because they have a good console, they have good games, they have good ideas, but the problem is they execute super piss poor, and not only do they execute in such a piss poor way, but the actual way that they handle the announcements and stuff is really piss poor. So I hope that all that stuff changes, but man, they've got to do some changing, and fast, in my opinion, because this is never going to go the way that they think it is at the current rate that it's at. So I hope that they reconsider, and I hope that they kind of understand where gamers are coming from with this stuff. It's not a place of hate at all. It's just a place of, you've got to do a better job of explaining things, and you have all these fans that stuck with you guys through thick and thin, and you just throw them under the bus and don't let them know what's going on. And I feel like that is incredibly shitty. I'm being honest about it. That is a really dumb thing to do, especially when it's your hardcore fans that have kept you going all these years to begin with. So, you know what I mean? Like, it just never really made much sense to me, and I hope that, that they change things up. So I hope, anyway. So anyway, like I said, I appreciate you guys checking out my content. It is awesome to see all the love and support and things like that. I appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a great day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Have a great day. As always, Crap Gamer out.